So there is so much to tell you about, and just I don't even know where to begin. Roller titles. So some of you may have seen the videos a while back saying about me going to Canada. I'm a little bit quiet on here recently because I've been to Canada, and it was great. I don't even know where to begin with this. I really don't. Okay, where to begin? Right, I've never flown before in my life, so I go to the airport, do the check-in, set the alarms off at security, as I always do. It's got to be a bit of drama. And, yeah, so go through. And we get called over to the gate. And we sit there and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting. And then I think, I'm trying to remember the original flight times. I think we were borderline about an hour late taking off. And I'm not a nervous flyer, believe it or not. I am a bit nervous when you're sat there after just being pushed back from the building. You get the smell of petrol, and then when you get in the air, they tell you that one of the reasons you've been late onto the flight is because of technical difficulties with the plane. So I wasn't too happy about that. Let's see, what else was there. Yeah, so we land in Toronto something airport. I know there's like 12 airports over there. It's crazy. And yeah, so about a week of walking later, and I finally get to the like, well, I call it border force. I don't know what they call it over there. Border control, something like that. So I get there and there's massive queues, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, you know, they're like, my aunt and uncle are waiting for me in arrivals. By the time these queues cleared, it's going to be time to go back home. So we get through, and I sent over, and I go and see this woman, and she's like, hi, how are you? And I'm like, actually, I'm quite amazed. It's like, you've got massive queues over there, and I've only been waiting like 20 minutes, so I'm quite impressed with that, you know, because it's been on the news a lot in England, saying like, you know, there's people waiting up to like 3 hours at a time to get seen and everything like that. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. And she's like, oh, okay, so why have you come over? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. She seemed fine. Got on dead well with her and everything. She gives me my passport back and everything like that. And I was just like, oh, while I'm here, can you stamp my passport for me just to say I've been? She's like, oh, no. You can ask about that in immigration. So I'm like, okay. So I go walking down, and the immigration office is on the left-hand side, and I'm looking in through the windows, and I'm going, well, I'm not going to go into immigration just to get my passport stamped. Like, screw that, I can get it done on the way out or something. So, yeah, so this security guard's there checking everyone's pass. So I give him this slip of paper that the woman's given me, and he's like, oh, okay, step this way, please, sir. And I'm like, oh, shit. Go into the immigration office, and I'm like, oh, shit. So then, queue up, go and see this other fella, and he's like, so why have you come over? And I'm like, spend time with family and, you know, have some fun while I'm here, you know, go and do, like, the touristy crap. And he's like, okay. And then he slides over this bit of paper on the desk with a pen, and he says, okay, can you write down the name of your uncle? And I'm like, yeah. So wrote it down. He's like, what's the number? And I'm like, security number? Phone number? What? He's like, phone number, so I can ring him. I'm just like, oh, for God's sake. this phone that I've got, right, it's not even that old, but it will take about 2 months to turn itself on, because you just kept the please wait, blah, blah, blah. So I literally stood there for about 10 minutes waiting for this phone. I fucking hate you, Sony Ericsson, for this. Stood there for 10 minutes, it eventually loaded up, and I'm like, crap, what did I save it under? I don't know. So I have to go into my old messages, look back, and oh, here's the number, right, okay. So I write down the number, hand it over to him, and he says, right, okay, so what things are you going to be doing while you're here? And I'm like, well, let's see, going camping, going to Gay Pride, probably going to do like Niagara Falls, CN Tower, that sort of crap. He's like, okay, I'll be back in a minute. So he goes off. Well, he comes back a moment later, like about 5 minutes later or something like that. He sits down on the desk in front of me and he goes, right, okay, I'm allowing you into the country. I'm like, well, the voice in my head actually went, well, I'm already here, so a bit late. And what was it? He said something like, I'll tell you what I've told your uncle, and you are not to work while you're here, and you are not to learn while you're here. So I'm like, housework out the window, fine. So I go out, get my suitcase, which, oh my god, that was so bad. There is this one carousel thing going round with just my suitcase going round, and I'm like, oh, the shame. Just grab the suitcase, and then go off into the airport and meet my family and everything like that. I had such a blast in Canada. Like, I swear to God, the hardest thing for me now is going to be trying to get back to, like, normality. If that can ever be achieved with me. What the hell is normal? It's just a case of there is that much that has happened while I've been over there. It's kind of impossible for me to tell you about everything that's happened. So I'm going to give you the highlights. So yeah, we go into Niagara and we go down what I ended up calling the main strip, because it's kind of like one street and you've got the Eye, all the museums, all the 4D cinemas, just everything is there. I mean, we've got, for those of you who live in Canada and you're watching this, why? We've got a town. I think Blackpool's still a town, but it's basically like Blackpool. It's just on drugs. So yeah, we go down the main strip and then we go along and we turn right at the bottom, and I'm like, okay, so that's like, oh wow. And I saw the American Falls first. They're gorgeous to look at anyway. And as we carry along, you get to see the Horseshoe, which is the Canadian Falls. It's breathtaking just to see. And I was sat in the car and I was like, okay, well, I want to smoke. And we had the air conditioning on and everything. So I lit up, put my window down, and that's when I heard the roar of Niagara Falls. It's just amazing. So we park up. $20 to park a car. Really? $20. And you don't get anything for that, by the way. Just $20. Oh, and we got given a free handbook that they were like giving out in the streets anyway, so yeah, no, great. Yeah, so we walk down, and the way that we walk was sort of like, I can't remember, it's sort of like a river thing going along before it drops. So like, we just see the mist and everything, then it was amazing. And then we went into the Guinness World Records Museum. We did Wendy's. We did the Hershey store, my new home. And that was amazing. And then, so we'd seen it during the day. We'd walked through the mist and everything like that. We then come back at about, I think we got there. I think we read on the sign it was about 9 o'clock that they turned the lights on. So I think we got there at about 10 to 9 or something like that. And we sat on the wall for a couple of minutes because we'd literally been walking all day. And yeah, so we sat down and we just sat there, and it's like, okay, well, it's 9 o'clock, it's 10 past 9, and I think it's about 20 past 9 or something, and I just remember looking over at the American Falls and thinking, right, they look a bit brighter than they did 10 minutes ago, so maybe the lights have come on. So all of the falls get lit up white. That is such a tongue twister, I swear to God. And then you slowly see a little bit of colour coming in. We must have been there only about half an hour, and by the time we left, the colours in the falls were just just breathtaking. Like if I can show you pictures, I will show you them. I'll probably be talking over them, but it was amazing. Like just so good. And then so we leave Niagara, and that was kind of like the day over. We had like a 2.5-hour trip back, and then like literally got in, and it was like, I'm gonna go to bed. So went to bed at the CN Tower. Oh my god. The CN Tower. Where to begin? I mean, we started off our day when we got our ticket and we got this pass that it was like your 3D cinema, the simulator ride, admission to the actual blob bit, I don't know what they call it, the actual tower bit, and then the sky pod above it. So we go down to the CN Tower. Oh, let's go in the basement first. We go down and we do the what's it called? I can't remember the name of it. It's a simulator ride, and it's basically like you're a log of a tree or something. That was amazing, like really good. And I won't say what happens in it. If you can go and do it, do it. It's so good. And then we go around the corner and we do the 3D cinema. Again, amazing. Just really, really good. Then we go up into the tower, stood on the glass floor, and looked out at the view around the edge from there. And then we go up a floor and we join this like hour-long queue to go into this bloody sky pod thing. The sky pod is, let me get this right, is it 33 stories above the normal CN Tower? And they've got these signs all over the place going like, CN Tower, world's largest building, blah, blah, blah. It's only when you get into the sky pod and you can stand at the edge looking out, you then feel it swaying, and you look down, there is the world's tallest building underneath you. And that's just a little bit daunting. Amazing to be up there, though. I mean, I somehow managed to just walk around and be like, oh, this is a really nice view. I wasn't frightened or anything. That was kind of weird, I guess. But again, CN Tower is an amazing thing. Then we came out of there, we went round the entrance to the Railway Museum, which was kind of interesting, seeing all the old trains and everything. And then we went over to the Eaton Centre, because I'd been told by everyone, oh my god, go there, it's really good. So we go and walk around there, and I think it's like the day or two before we actually went, and I'd said about, on like the news channels, they always show this square in the background, with like all the billboards and everything. I was like, well, where is that? And they said, oh, well, we'll take you over. So my uncle goes, okay, well, we're near to it now, so we'll go out this way and blah, blah, blah. So we walk down, and I got to see like the backdrop of the news thing. So I'm like, okay, that must be the newsroom over there. That's kind of cool. And then we go over to the newsroom, like the building, and we see, now what's his name? Is it something Gordy or Gordy something? I can't remember his name, but I remember hearing Gordy. I think that's what I saw. And they're out filming, or like they just finished filming like a link for the news or something, because I did actually see it later on that night, and I was like, oh, I know where he filmed. I was there. Oh my god. So yeah, little claim to fame there. I was there. Yeah, so Canada was just an amazing experience. Like I said, there is so much that I want to tell you guys, but it's just YouTube wouldn't have enough time to try and fit me talking about 3 weeks worth of stuff. The only thing I can say about any part of Canada is it's a different experience wherever you go. I could have gone and spent 3 weeks in Toronto, and that's like a whole different world to where I was living or staying. Because you're not a million miles away from Walmart and the hospital and the schools and everything like that. But you are in the country. You're surrounded by fields-ish. And Hortons. Love Hortons. Yeah, so I think Canada's just one of them places that you've got to go. And if you're thinking of going, go and do it. So that is my Canada trip, partly, but everything for YouTube anyway. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you guys get to go and experience Canada and do everything that's there, because it is such a really nice place to visit. So go and do it. And if you have already been, then leave a little comment below and let everyone know what your thoughts of the place were, you know. And I will see you all soon. But maybe not with this tan. I've got a nice tan. Yeah!